Obviously, today was an extremely high-level basketball game. It felt like a MAC tournament championship-style atmosphere, intensity level, playmaking by both teams. Both teams, I think, have good players, and boy, did they make a lot of plays. Their team did, our team did. The only thing I said after the game to my athletic director and on the radio after the game was it was just a shame we're in a COVID environment and we didn't have fans in here today to enjoy a game like that. Because it was high level. Anybody that watched that game, that was a high-level college basketball game. So, got a lot of respect for Toledo, how good they are, how well coached they are, their players. They have really good players. They're so good on offense, execute so well. And, obviously we made a play or two. We were fortunate to win. But our guys made some big plays. Ali's three-point shot and Maishe's three-point shot. People are going to point to those. Those were big shots. But what I will tell you is Dawson got a tipped offensive rebound to create the one possession that allowed us to get the three in the corner by Ali. So that's a big play that oftentimes can go unnoticed. And then obviously our playmaker, Jackson, had the assist on both those threes. And there's a lot of guys that are as good a player as he is, or Marion Jackson for that matter. I think they're not only two of the best point guards in our league, I think they're two of the best point guards in the country. A lot of those two guys are wired to win and make the right play, and obviously Cristian made the right play for us twice. As the defense collapsed, he threw it out both times, trusted his teammates, and fortunately for us, Ali and Maishe were able to knock both those shots down that obviously ended up being real difference makers.
So were you able to peek at my computer screen some way? Because one of the questions I want to ask was, that was such a great, entertaining game. How much did you miss the crowd?
Well, we always miss them, especially here. There's some places that don't draw, and we draw, and our fans love basketball in Akron. And when we play MAC games in particular, and we're playing a Saturday game against the league leader, of course, you were probably here last year, George, when it was near a sellout. When we played them last year in another high-level game that was 99-89. Whether it was Ohio here last year to finish to win the MAC championship at that point, or the last game against Kent when we honored Romeo and it was sold out. We draw, so we miss our fans. We do. And obviously we've played some good basketball at times this year. At other times we've been so-so. We're trying to get that consistency. But today just happened to be one of those games where I really did think of the fans in Zips Nation afterwards thinking, man, would they have enjoyed that one. Anybody that would have been in our building today, they would have left, they would have got their money's worth. That was a high-level, entertaining college basketball game.
I think I saw where Maishe was shooting 27% from the three-point line coming into the game. Not necessarily someone you want taking that game-winning shot. First of all, what happened on the shot in your mind, and what was the first option? Was Loren the first option?
Well, what I would say is this. We recruited Maishe to make shots. I believe he's capable of making shots. When I recruited him at Illinois, we recruited him to make shots. Obviously, he ended up going to Rutgers and then on to Iowa when the coaching change took place. I've always respected him as a shot maker. He's made them in practice. Last year, this year, he has great touch, a beautiful stroke. He had not made them at an efficient level thus far through the 7 games coming into this one. And he and I even met this week, and I felt like he was letting it get to inside his head a little bit and affecting some other areas of the game. As you saw today, he drove it a few times and made some plays, got some rebounds and busted out dribble. He can play defense with his positional size and length. And I said, Maishe, you can do more things than just make shots, and you never know if you get caught up in those things and free your mind up, the shot making will come. Zarius was the same way last year after sitting out a full year and not playing for basically a year and a half on the transfer from Dayton. I think Brian and Maishe, as we continue to play more games, get more practices, more games under their belt, I really believe in those guys. I think they can make take and make open shots. So, I'm so glad it went in for him. I'm sure it's a real confidence booster. He's been in here constantly since we got back on July 30th, getting extra work in. And so I'm glad that he's benefited from that, and obviously happy that it went in. But he made a lot of plays today, and especially in the second half, George. It was good to see him be a lot more aggressive than he had been previously.
Now you came into this game having lost 2 in a row. How much of a sense of urgency did you convey to the guys in that regard?
I don't think obviously I told him the sense of urgency is that we got to get playing better. Although we played better against Northern Illinois than we did against Eastern Michigan, Northern Illinois just played terrific and beat us. But what I would say is that the guys are smart. They know. They look at the league standings. They see it. They know that we were on a 2-game skid. They knew that we were an underdog in our building today. They knew that. They're aware of that. And we got some competitive guys. And so did we play a little bit today like our head was held underwater? I think so, George. I think that's a good observation on your part. But we need to play like that all the time and not just pick and choose. That'll allow us to be more consistent. And certainly that's what we'll start working on and talking to them about when they arrive in the building tomorrow.
Well, they get to enjoy it for about 12 hours.
Yeah, 5 games in 11 days scheduled right now. They talked about that earlier, and I hope it takes place. But, for us right now in this environment we're in with COVID and postponements, cancellations, and, we're getting tested frequently just as all the other teams in our league are. You never know what will happen. We've already had, and I may be off here, but I'm going to take a shot at it. At Kent, postponed/canceled. Buffalo at home. Central Michigan at home, and Eastern Michigan on the road. All those have at least been postponed/canceled. There are makeup dates involved, but that's 4 games, and we've only gotten 5 league games in and still on paper have to get 15 more in. So what I've tried to convince the guys and tell them is, look, man, we got to take this one day at a time, literally. We don't know if we'll be allowed to practice tomorrow. Play another game on Tuesday, like we hope so. That's the plan. Only thing we can do at this point is control what we can control and try to do the right thing. Mask up, social distance, 6 feet or more, stay away from large gatherings, wash our hands, and keep doing those things over and over and over. But you, like I, George, know people that do those things, and some people still get it. So for us right now, it literally is in this environment a one day at a time approach. I think if you don't approach it that way, you'll drive yourself crazy because the plan can always change on a dime. And we've seen that happen already to us on a few occasions.
Just try to get better every day. Take it one game at a time. That's our motto. You know that. So we just try to stay resilient and fight through adversity. And I think we did a great job of doing that. Guys stepped up and made big shots.
You just gave me every cliche in the book.
Most definitely.
I realize all that, okay? But was there a sense of urgency on the team's part, given Toledo came in 6-0 in the MAC? You guys take a hit. I'm not saying it would happen, but there's a prospect of that turning into a spiral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how important was it to break that streak?
It was very important. We needed a game like that. That's a great basketball team. That's a very good basketball team. So we just needed a game like that, and it showed down the stretch. Like, we're a good team as well. We had a couple mishaps, but we're just trying to get back on track now.
When did you were on the bench for Maishe shot, or did you give the assist?
I made the pass.
Was right. You made the pass?
Yes.
Sorry, man.
You all good.
What did you see? What did you see on that play?
His man came over and tried to block my shot, so I knew he was going to be open. So I just trusted my teammate, and I believe in him. And he stepped up and made a big shot.
So that play was really we really had like 3 different options. Nothing's really like the main option. Just what the defense takes away is really the first option. And Cristian Jackson drew 3 or 4 people on his drive, And then I just trusted my work and all the work that I put in, just catch and shoot it, and just believe that it'll go in.
How do you? It seems like every game somebody else is stepping up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Without trying to disparage anybody else on the team, there seems to be, CJ leads the team,
Right.
and then there's everybody else. I don't want to say following, but it all seems like you're trying to find out where you fit in the grand scheme of things. Is that the case for you? And if so, how do you keep ready for it?
Right now, I'm really just watching a lot of film. I think that was probably what game was that of ours? The 7th or 8th? That was probably my 7th game in like a year and a half. So really, I'm just trying to find my spots where I can be effective on offense and defense. And obviously, Christian's so good. I think any team you put him on is going to revolve around him. So we all trust him, all the shots that he takes. We all know our roles. We just got to be an all-star in all of our roles.
So, by my estimation, there was only one thing missing in that game. It was a great entertaining game. What's it like to play a game like that and you've got no crowd?
It's crazy because when I hit the last shot, I honestly didn't know that was the last play. Like, that would be the last shot of the game. Only because of the sound of our bench. That was probably the loudest I've ever heard the team. And I know if they were fans, the arena would have been rocking today. But it's definitely weird and definitely took some getting used to.